SCP-096. SCP-096, also known as the Shy Guy, is one of the most terrifying and known entities contained by the SCP Foundation. This humanoid creature is tall, bald, with long arms, and a disproportionately long jaw. Despite his disturbing appearance, SCP-096 is generally calm and passive, often found sitting or wandering aimlessly in its containment. However, his behavior drastically changes when his face is seen, whether in person, on photos, or even on video. If anyone sees his face, he will enter a state of emotional distress, covering his face with his hands and beginning to cry or scream. After a brief period of 20 to 30 seconds, SCP-096 will begin hunting down and killing anyone who has seen his face, no matter where they are in the world. Distance doesn't matter. Whether the person is on the other side of the planet or just around the corner, he will find you. When it reaches the person who saw his face, he will kill them, often leaving no or barely any trace behind. Interestingly, despite his violent tendencies, SCP-096 has shown moments of unusual behavior. In one rare case, he was observed befriending a blind girl who had never seen its face, and he even sacrificed his life to protect her. There is one way to fix all of this, and that's by not looking at the guy. SCP-4666. SCP-4666, also known as the Yule Man, is basically the SCP Foundation's version of Santa Claus if Santa hated everyone and wanted to traumatize kids for life. This creepy entity is tied to a series of events known as Weihnacht events that happen every year between December 21st and January 2nd. It is described as an unnaturally tall, emaciated humanoid with pale skin and long white hair. It specifically targets families with young children living in isolated, snowy areas. Once he's chosen a house, he stalks it for several nights straight, just standing outside watching, or making noises like footsteps on the roof or scratching at windows just to crank the nightmare fuel to maximum. And then on the final night, he breaks in. But unlike your typical burglar, it doesn't just loot your fridge and leave. He targets the adults first, brutally, and then gives the kids gifts, which are handcrafted toys made from, you guessed it, parts of their own family members. Nothing says Merry Christmas like a DIY action figure made from Uncle Bob's bones. No one knows exactly what it is, whether he's some ancient entity, a ghost, or just a really messed up dude who refuses to retire, but he seems completely unaffected by the passage of time or the weather. Immortal, barefoot, and 100% not bringing you a PlayStation 5 for Christmas. SCP-106. SCP-106, also known as the Old Man, is one of the most terrifying entities. This Keter-class anomaly has a decaying, rotting body with dark, rust-colored skin. It moves slowly, but is capable of vanishing through solid walls and floors using this ability to escape and attack without warning. He has an ability to drag victims into its personal dimension, known as the Pocket Dimension, where it tortures and kills them in the most brutal ways. It was once a soldier named Lawrence during World War I, but after a strange event in the trenches, he became completely changed. And even when given the chance to escape, it often returns to its containment cell, eager to torment captured individuals. Its ability to move through walls and its twisted dimension make it incredibly hard to contain, and multiple containment breaches have occurred over the years, resulting in numerous casualties. Moral of the story: if you hear rusty metal noises or suddenly smell something that makes you gag, you're already too late. SCP-1048. SCP-1048, also known as the Builder Bear, is one of the creepier and arguably more disturbing anomalies out there. SCP-1048 is a small, adorable, teddy bear-like creature that seems like it could be a child's new best friend, until you realize that this bear is not quite as sweet as it seems. It's a class Euclid anomaly, and it's definitely got a dark side that's not as huggable as you might expect. On the surface, 1048 looks like a regular stuffed bear. Cute, right? Wrong. This thing has a talent for creating other bears out of body parts. Yes, you heard me right. This little monster makes horrific, grotesque creatures using the body parts of anything or anyone it can get its paws on. But here's where it gets even worse. SCP-1048 is dangerously intelligent. It's not a dumb, mindless creature. It's been able to avoid the Foundation's traps and can appear surprisingly innocent, which makes it all the more unsettling. It's clever enough to manipulate its environment and even uses its creations to terrorize people. The Foundation's efforts to deal with SCP-1048 have not been entirely successful, and the whole thing just continues to haunt the halls of containment. SCP-682. SCP-682, also known as the Hard-to-Destroy Reptile, is one of the most dangerous and terrifying entities the SCP Foundation has ever contained. This massive, hostile creature is classified as Keter due to its extreme strength, intelligence, and relentless hatred for all life. SCP-682's appearance is that of a massive reptilian creature with scales that are almost indestructible. It has a crocodilian face with razor-sharp teeth and a terrifying, deathly appearance. It has regeneration abilities that would make Deadpool jealous. You could chop it into pieces, shoot it, burn it, or throw it into a volcano, and it would come back, probably with a middle finger raised in your direction. In one documented case, it was reduced to what looked like pork chop leftovers, and it just regenerated itself. Despite all efforts to contain SCP-682, including extreme measures like using acid to try and dissolve it, it continues to escape and terrorize the facility. It is also known for its deep hatred of humans, often describing them as disgusting. There have even been instances where SCP-682 has formed strange temporary alliances with other anomalies like SCP-053 and SCP-079. SCP-173. SCP-173, also known as the Sculpture, is one of the most infamous anomalies in the SCP Foundation's containment. It is classified as a Euclid entity due to its unpredictable behavior and extreme danger. SCP-173 appears as a humanoid statue made of concrete and rebar, with traces of Krylon spray paint used to mark its body in a crude pattern. SCP-173 can only move when it's not being observed. If you're staring at it, it stays frozen in place. But the moment you break eye contact, it's like the world's fastest statue. It rushes toward you with lightning speed, snaps your neck, or strangles you. It's completely silent when it moves. To keep SCP-173 in check, the Foundation requires at least 3 people in the room at all times. So yeah, if you're ever in a room with it, keep those eyes wide open, and whatever you do, don't look away. Blink and you're done. SCP-049. SCP-049, also known as the Plague Doctor, is a humanoid anomaly contained by the SCP Foundation and classified as Euclid. It looks like a medieval plague doctor wearing a thick robe and a ceramic mask shaped like a beak. However, this appearance is not clothing. It's part of its body. He is generally calm and cooperative, especially when not provoked. It speaks fluent English and several other languages, often behaving in a polite, old-fashioned manner. It constantly talks about a pestilence it claims to detect in living beings, although what exactly this pestilence is has never been clearly defined. The terrifying part comes when SCP-049 believes someone is infected. Without warning, it will become aggressive, touching the person with its bare hand. This touch is instantly fatal, causing all biological functions to cease immediately. After killing the victim, SCP-049 will perform surgery using tools it pulls from inside its robe. It attempts to cure the body by modifying it internally, creating what it calls cured instances. These cured creations are reanimated corpses, barely mobile and severely damaged. They show no higher brain function, only following simple commands or wandering aimlessly. Despite this, SCP-049 believes it is genuinely saving people, expressing sadness when containment protocols prevent it from practicing its medicine. SCP-939. SCP-939, nicknamed With Many Voices, is a terrifying predator contained by the SCP Foundation and classified as Keter due to its high danger level. SCP-939 are large, red-skinned, lizard-like creatures, though they have no eyes, and their bodies are slick and almost amphibian-looking. Imagine if someone described a crocodile to a drunk artist and then dared them to draw it from memory. That's SCP-939. Despite having no eyes, SCP-939 can hunt perfectly well, relying on sound and vibrations to track their prey. What makes SCP-939 truly terrifying is its ability to mimic human voices. It uses this to lure in victims by imitating cries for help, familiar voices, or anything that might convince someone to come closer. Once a target is near enough, SCP-939 attacks without hesitation, killing quickly and dragging the body away. These creatures are extremely dangerous and have caused multiple containment breaches in the past. They often work alone, but there have been cases where multiple instances coordinated together, making them even more lethal. Because of their mimicry and hunting abilities, Foundation personnel are trained to never respond to voices they hear unless visually confirmed. If you ever hear a loved one calling your name in a place they absolutely shouldn't be, just remember, it's probably not them. And that would be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to leave a comment and share your thoughts on this list. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one.